And welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, that's Tim, and we are ready to break down 5 games remaining on the MLB slate tonight. So it is a shorter slate, basically because there's a whole bunch of afternoon games.
Getaway
Occupancy,
days.
welcome back. Nice to see you. I hope all is well, and I hope you're ready to make some money. 5 games on the slate. I have picks in 2 of them. So the other 3, I'll just kind of give you my leans and kind of feelings and reasons why I didn't bet it. But we will jump into the first game here. We have the Miami Marlins and the Cincinnati Reds in this one. I'll bring up the current numbers here. You can find Miami anywhere from plus 120 to plus 130. You can find Cincinnati anywhere from minus 163 to minus 145. You don't really see Cincinnati as minus 145 favorites very often. Totals of 8.5 with some 8s available. And it's basically here the pitching matchup is the reason why Cincinnati is big favorites. Luis Castillo has pitched really well lately. Definitely looking like a guy who wants to get traded and is kind of showing off for the team that could potentially trade for him. But Braxton Garrett on the other side hasn't been too bad either as of late. But obviously his last 2 games were both against Pittsburgh. He did allow 1 earned run and only 4 hits in the 12 innings he pitched against them. So he has been pitching pretty well. I ultimately didn't get to this game just because I don't think Cincinnati should ever be a minus 150 favorite. I get it, the pitching matchup, but Braxton Garrett I think could keep this pretty close. So if I had to get to anything, I would look at the total. And if you look at the first 5, it's a 4.5 minus 115 or plus 115 for the under 4. That could be a good look. And that's actually a pretty good price there at Sports Interaction. So I might get into that after the show, plus 115. I could see a lower scoring first 5 in this one. Tim, Marlins and Reds, what do you think here?
Yeah, we've seen no shocker, Miami struggling to hit. They couldn't really hit that much. What was it, Ashcraft yesterday? No. I don't remember who yesterday, but they struggled to hit against him. And now they get Luis Castillo, who is an all-star and one of the better pitchers in the National League right now. Or at least he's been pitching that way. He's allowed 3 earned runs in his last 4 starts, which go about 27 innings. So he's been phenomenal. One of the things I'm kind of doing lately is backing pitchers who are trying to get traded, which, Luis Castillo, unfortunately, could be in pinstripes by the end of the year, by the deadline. So he's definitely going to be dealt out of Cincinnati. So I ended up grabbing Cincinnati on the run line. I got it at like 130 area. I think it's a good spot for him just because, hey, this guy played for Cincinnati since 2017. His entire career, he's gonna want to have a good send off, and I think he has it today when Cincinnati goes and beats the Marlins and wins by at least 2 runs.
All right. We'll go on to the second game here. Tampa is in Baltimore. Bring up the current odds. You can find Tampa Bay anywhere from minus 110 to plus 100. You can find Baltimore anywhere from minus 105 to minus 120. And mostly 8.5 with some 8s available as well. And this one. This was a pass for me just because both pitchers have played not too bad. Tyler Wells kind of digressing a little bit here. Rasmussen has been good for Tampa. I look at the pitching matchup here for Rasmussen and the Rays, but I don't like how Tampa Bay is playing. They're kind of dropping here in the standings, and really there's a possible chance they could miss the playoffs. Obviously, there's lots of baseball left, but the way they're playing right now, they could end up finding themselves out of a playoff spot. So just because of, yes, they have the pitching advantage, but I don't like the way they're playing, so I can't back them right now. Another reason or another game, for example, was the San Francisco Giants. I wanted to back Logan Webb, but with the way the Giants are playing, I can't do that. Currently, the Diamondbacks are up 1-0 after 2 innings. But I can't back the Giants with how they're playing, and I can't back Tampa Bay with how they're playing. So it would be Baltimore or pass. But Tyler Wells, after having a really good stretch of games, has given up at least 3 earned runs in his last 3 starts. So I'm not quite sure I want to back him. So this game's ultimately a pass, but it would be a look at Baltimore in some way if I was going to bet it. Tim, Rays and Orioles, what do you think here?
Yeah, this Rays offense is just died. Their bottom, I think 6 through 9 in the order are all hitting 180 or lower. They're without 2 of their guys now for the rest of the year that was actually hitting quite well. This is just a really weird spot. Baltimore is over 500. I wish we could have had somebody who would say that the Baltimore Orioles were going to be good in the beginning of the year, but that's not the point now. No, Baltimore has looked good. Tyler Wells has looked good this year. He hadn't looked good his past couple of starts. Kind of the main reason why I stayed off of this. He's allowed 11 earned runs in his last 3 starts, which go about 15 innings. So I'm kind of staying off of him for a minute. But against this Tampa Bay offense, I wouldn't be opposed to an under in this game. I could easily see this one being a 3-2 type of game. And I could see Baltimore winning and getting their 50th win of the season, which, hey, their win total in the beginning of the year was 62.5. Yeah, I took the over, so I'm happy with that. And Baltimore has looked really good this year. The big thing is, what is Baltimore going to do when it comes to trade deadline? I know Mancini's been involved in trade talk and a couple of their bullpen pieces, but if this team is involved in the possible chance at them getting a wild card spot, I don't know how much they're really going to be selling. So I know it's all hypotheticals and stuff, but I could see Baltimore not only winning this game, but going on another little bit of a run and possibly having a shot at making the playoffs, which would be cool to see.
I think Baltimore just wishes that somehow they could be in the AL Central. I think if they could be in the AL Central, that would just be.
I think they could have a shot to win the division.
Yeah, so that's probably what they wish. They probably wish they weren't in the division they're in because it's tough.
Correct.
But that's how baseball goes, and you are where you are, and you just got to deal with it. But we'll go on to the next one. The Cardinals are in Toronto facing the Blue Jays. I did my free pick video for this. I had 2 units on it last night. The Jays run line. It was a close game for a portion of the game, and I was sweating it out. I was feeling kind of nervous there. Bases loaded, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Springer at the plate, and I thought, okay, this is do or die, and he hits the grand slam. I won't describe my reaction when he did that, but let's just say I was on my feet and loud noises coming out of my mouth. So I was very happy at that moment when that happened. Today's game, bringing up the stats or the current odds, you can find St. Louis at plus 229 to plus 200. Toronto minus 250 to minus 277. Mostly 8s, a couple 8.5s here. No real opinion for me on the total. I like what I've seen from Gausman as of late. I like what I've seen from most of the Blue Jays pitchers as of late, actually. Gausman, his last game against Boston, Boston finally got some hits against him, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, but 10 strikeouts. He's been pitching well. St. Louis, obviously, we know but they won't have Goldschmidt or Arenado again for this game. And Wainwright. maybe age showing a little bit. 6-8 with a 3.4 ERA. So the ERA is still good. But in his last game in Cincinnati, he went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 7 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 walks the game previous to that. If he is walking a lot of guys tonight, he's going to be in big trouble because this Jays offense is strong right now. And if you put guys on base, the Jays are going to make you pay for it. So I'm basically going right back to where I was last night. Jays run line, the best odds you can find for it now, minus 114, which is what I got it for last night, minus 114. Briefly earlier, you could have found it at minus 110 at a couple spots, but back to minus 114. Even if you're getting it at the other books at minus 120, minus 125, this Jays team is hot. And after this, they have 4 games against the Tigers. So I said the Jays were going to go on a run. Nick said the Jays were going to go on a run, and they have. So we'll see if they can just keep rolling along here. Tim, Cardinals and Jays, what do you think here?
Yeah, unfortunately, I the run line was a little bit too rich for my blood because it's sitting at around 130 on my book, 128, and it was sitting at 120 this morning. So I never was able to get it at, because the most I'll lay on a run line, laying runs, is 110, 115 area if I really, really like it. But I don't like to lay minus 120, 125, 130 on a money line, let alone just going after a run line in general. I went after the over instead in this game because me thinking I could probably get at least 2 to 3 runs from Adam Wayne from the Cardinals. And if the Toronto Blue Jays continue to swing a hot bat like they've been doing, they're going to put up 6, 7, 8 alone by themselves tonight. So I felt like that was a little bit more of a better value for me to go after the over rather than the run line. Also, grabbing the over can allow me if what happens if, the Cardinals happen to win tonight. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if the Cardinals win 5-4, I still get my over. So I feel like that's the better value in this game for me, at least, is to go over the 8. But I'm not going to talk anybody off the Blue Jays if they're willing to lay that juice on the run line.
Yeah. Cardinals did not give up yesterday. Jays came out strong. But Cardinals, obviously, they're fighting for their division, fighting for a playoff spot of their own. So they definitely did not think, we don't have Arenado or Goldschmidt, we have no chance. Let's just not really play. They tried. So I expect them to try again tonight. But I think the Jays are the better team and continue winning.
Well, they're the better team without Goldie and Arenado in the lineups. Yeah.
Going on to the next one, occupancy says Toronto money line plus over 8.
That could be a good play too. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, if you like the over, if you like Toronto, that's a nice price. Looking at this next one, Cleveland is in Boston. This Boston team, like I keep saying, they're in trouble. They had the one good game there against the Guardians. Unfortunately, that's when I was on the
Guardians. I bet the Guardians and the over, and it finished 3-1 Boston. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, I Cleveland team total over 4.5, and then of course yesterday they had no problem cashing the Cleveland team total over 4.5.
Oh yeah,
on in the game. But yeah, I didn't bet it. So, but today, looking at this one, yes, we are going to see a better game from Eovaldi. But if you looked at his last start, a better game is, it's kind of hard to get worse than 2.2 innings, 8 hits, 9 earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The Jays absolutely smashed him. But he's not facing the Jays today. He's facing Cleveland. And Cal Quantrill, who has quietly won 3 games in a row. 2 against the White Sox, 1 against Detroit. 1 game, no earned runs. The other game, 2. The game at home against the White Sox, he did give up 8 hits and 4 earned runs, but still won the game. Cleveland's offense hasn't been too bad lately. So I couldn't believe the price I got in this. Cleveland first 5 plus a half. One of my books had it for minus 115. All the other books had it for minus 130. So at a minus 130, there's no way I would take that. But to get the plus a half at minus 115, that's a 15-cent difference. So I like that. So I bet that Cleveland first 5 plus a half, and then Cleveland full game money line for plus 111. I think they get the job done here against the Red Sox. Eovaldi, yes, he's going to have a better game, but I still think he's going to give up at least 3 earned runs here against Guardians. And then with the bullpens, Boston is going to make some errors and will eventually shoot themselves in the foot and give the game to the Guardians. That's my prediction. So I like Cleveland here. Tim, Guardians, Red Sox. What do you think of this one?
I like the over. I'm expecting runs, and more runs from both sides because you're getting Eovaldi and Cal Quantrill, which I know Quantrill has pitched well past 2 days. The past 2 starts he's had 2 earned runs against Chicago, but Chicago is kind of a weird team. And then a good start against Detroit, but who doesn't have a good start against Detroit? And then you get Anthony Eovaldi, which, yes, he very ugly 2 starts since coming off the DL. But he did face the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Cleveland is not as good of a team as those 2 guys. But 12 earned runs and 14 hits in 7 innings. It's going to take a lot for me to want to back that. And at minus money, there's not a shot. I do like the over in this game. I'm expecting runs from both sides because, yeah, Boston's struggling pitching, but at least their bats are still a little bit active. They're getting some runs. So I'm expecting a higher scoring game today in this one, and maybe a 6-5, 7-5 type of game. I want the over.
All right, I like it.
And we'll move real quick. 2-0 A's over the Astros. Back-to-back home runs.
Yeah, I made my morning wood debut on Picks and Parlays earlier today, and someone asked me, did I think it's possible that that the Dodgers and Houston and San Francisco would get swept? And I said that for some reason Houston's having trouble with Oakland, San Francisco's playing bad. So I said I can definitely see sweeps in both of those. But I did say in the other one, Patrick Corbin might do Patrick Corbin things.
And he went 2/3 of an inning. 6 earned runs.
2/3 of an inning. Oh, wow. 6 earned runs.
Good start to my over.
So the 2 sweeps that I said that have a good chance are looking good, but the other one there, not so much.
Yep.
JD Martinez is back as well.
Oh,
all right.
That could be promising for them. I heard that JD Martinez is involved in some trade talks, though, so he probably won't stay in Boston for very long.
Yeah, well, basically, they at the point where they are, they have to. It would be smart to look at the future. Well, yeah. Well, some of these guys are going to lose for nothing if they don't sign them. So,
yep.
But going on to the final game of the night, the second game in the Battle of New York, the Yankees and the Mets. I stayed off this game yesterday, and I'm staying off it again in this one. If you look at the odds, and I will bring them up here in a second, you'll see that the Yankees are plus 160. And I don't know if we've seen that all year long.
I think this is the biggest dog that they've been, but it makes sense.
Yeah, but plus 150, actually to plus 170 for the Yankees. The Mets are minus 179 to minus 190. Mostly 7.5. I see 2 sevens there. In this one, the Yankees are at a big plus price, so it's definitely catches the eye. But with the pitcher they have, Domingo Germán on the mound, only did 1 game this year where he gave up 6 hits, 5 earned runs in 3 innings. And that was basically it for him. I'm assuming he got injured after that. And he gets to go head-to-head against Max Scherzer, who is coming off a loss in his last game 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts against San Diego. Previous to that, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts against the Cubs. So actually, I'm noticing that he gets a lot of strikeouts. And we know the Yankees are prone to striking out. So what might have been a pass for me, depending on what we see here.
I'm on the same boat as you. And I'll explain why in a minute.
7.5 is too juice, so I'd have to go at 8.5 for plus 116. I do have access to both those books. So FanDuel obviously can ladder at anyone that has FanDuel. So 9.5, 10.5, and such. So I will have to officially look at that after the game and make my determination. But most likely, I do think Max Scherzer strikeout prop is going to make my card in this one. So when I back the Mets, I haven't had much luck. But this isn't backing the Mets. This is strikeout prop, so it's a little bit different. So hopefully, if I do bet it, it will come through for me. Tim, Battle of New York, Yankees, Mets, one of your biggest rivals, I guess. What do you think here?
It's just an American League team. It's whatever. Not kidding. Real quick, I wanted to look back and see exactly how often the Yankees have been dogs this year. You want to take a guess how many times do you think the Yankees have been dogs this year?
I'll answer that. This sucks. No Gallo lineup because
that does hurt.
But the Yankees dog this year. I'm going to assume that maybe at the beginning of the year there might have been 1 or 2 times where they were a dog. So I'm going to say that this is the 3rd time they've been a dog this year.
They've actually been dogs 7 times. Okay. I believe it was twice against Houston recently. They did against Tampa Bay twice earlier in the year, and there was like a couple other times where there were dogs too. I believe one of the games was against the Red Sox when Red Sox had one of their better pitchers and the Yankees had a bullpen game or something. They are 4-3 in games that they are dogs, so I guess that's a little bit concerning. But this is Max Scherzer versus Domingo Germán. I said yesterday during the ESB show, I don't feel like the Yankees are punting this, but it looks like the Yankees are punting this series because they threw out Montgomery and Domingo Germán when the Mets had Walker and Scherzer. And I was trying to determine whether or not to go Mets run line or the Mets money line in the over, and I chose both. I did both. Mets should be able to absolutely hammer Domingo Germán tonight. And the Yankees bats are good enough for 1 or 2 solo shots like they did last night in the first inning. And then that was pretty much it. That all they got. So it's home run or bust for these guys. Max Scherzer is a big strikeout prop guy. So I will tail that. I will tail it and I will ladder the strikeout props for Max Scherzer tonight. Also, a little bit of snippet. I don't know if people use this as an angle. It is Max Scherzer's birthday today. So maybe first Subway Series game for him on his birthday. Maybe he goes out and throws 11 strikeouts or something. But I'm on Max Scherzer strikeout props, laddering it up from, I believe it's over 8.5 to 11.5 or 12.5, whatever I did. And then Mets run line and the Mets money line plus the over.
All right.
The
Yankees have not been playing that well lately. So
correct.
If I had to pick a side,
2-4 since the All-Star break.
Yeah, so we were kind of saying in the group chat yesterday, I said, could the Jays possibly actually catch the Yankees in the standings? Because
11.5 games is not as many as you think.
A week ago, I said there was no chance. But actually, a few days ago, I said there was no chance. But now...
you got to keep 11.5 games is not a lot. A team can go like 35-12, and then a team play a little bit above 500, and all of a sudden that lead is gone. Just ask the Mets.
Yeah, the Mets Atlanta. And if you look at the Jays' next 4 games against the Tigers, they can catch up.
And the Jays still have games against the Yankees, so I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
I don't think
by mid-August could easily be 4 games.
Yeah, we could see some excitement there in that division race.
And
if the Jays can sustain what they're doing.
There was a tough scheduling spot for the Yankees in August where I believe they played like Boston, Tampa Bay, Toronto, and the Mets, all within like 13 games in 13 days or something like that. And I said that's going to be where they're going to have regression. They're getting that a little bit earlier. So I mentioned at All-Star break, start fading the Yankees. They're not going to be hitting at 700 the entire year.
And injuries have also caught up.
They lost Michael King. Stanton's on the DL for a little bit. So, yeah, this team is definitely starting to fall apart. But they're still one of the best teams in the league. I believe after the last power rankings came out, they're number 2 behind Houston. Houston passed them. Well, Houston beat them 5 out of 7 games and very well should have beat them 7 out of 7. So I understand that in the power rankings. And now the Mets are only 5 games behind the Yankees now? 5.5 games behind? That's getting close too. Yankees are not as big as a favorite as everybody else sees them. That lead is getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
But if they do return to how they played earlier on in the year,
oh yeah, then everybody's fucked. But that's not the point.
So we'll have to see what happens with the Yankees' future.
Yep.
Last pitch, nothing. We went over all 5 games, so there is no last pitch today. But we will go on to BetStamp. Use code WILD. I'll bring up the current odds, and this is the site that I use. Obviously, when I bring up all the odds.
Yep.
Follow me at Let's Go Wild Picks. Yesterday after the show, once the Blue Jays lineup was announced, I added 3 same-game parlays, as well as Jose Barrios to record the win. Sadly, Jose Barrios did not record the win.
He didn't,
but my 3 parlays that had Jays money line plus 2 players to get a hit, all cashed because every single Blue Jays player once again had a hit. So all 3 of those plus money parlays cashed. So follow me at Let's Go Wild Picks because I do sometimes add things after the show, especially today when I only have 3 bets for tonight and there's not many games. I might look at some same game parlays and such with Cleveland and the Blue Jays coming forward. So sign up for BetStamp. Use code WILD when signing up. Help out the show. It'd be much appreciated. But we will go on to the best bets segment here. And we actually have some golf picks from DJ as well today. So we will get to those. And we will start with over or under, as we always do, or as we do now. For me, there is no total. I'm not on anything. If I had to pick something, it would probably be Cleveland team total, but I did not.
Yeah, I thought you would have had Toronto team total up there.
Yeah, well, Wainwright has been letting us some runs, but he still is Wainwright, and there's possibility that his former self could show and he could have a good game. So, and I've been going on the Jays run line, and I don't want to get too crazy in case it's something like a 4-0 or 4-1 game for somehow. I know you would hate that, but we'll have to see.
That's probably what's going to happen because the Jays hate me.
So no over-under for me. No picks from Nick today. Tim, you're going Cleveland-Boston over 8.5.
Yep.
And Bryant and Ryan are both going Yankees and Mets over.
I was going to put that pick in, but with everybody on it, I decided to choose something else.
All right. And going on to dog of the day, and I will put DJ's in here.
Oh, the Guardians are a dog.
Yes.
That's
right. So DJ's taking Goddard up to win the golf. I'm not exactly sure what golf it is, but it's on, I don't know what tour it is, but he's choosing Goddard up, which is 100-1 odds to win the golf league. Whatever it is. So he's choosing that as a huge dog.
That is a big dog.
Yeah, plus 10,000. And me and Bryant are both going Cleveland Guardians and nothing from anybody else. Tim, is there a dog that you like in the 5 games that we're going to?
No, I'm good. Normally I love my dogs, but today I feel like it's more of it's more of a totals day for me.
Yeah, there's only 5 games later, so no need
Yeah.
to force anything. For me, parlay piece, no big surprise here. Jay's money line. Ryan, same thing. Jay's money line. Tim, you're going Mets money line.
Yep.
Bryant going New York Yankees team total over 2 for the full game. And DJ is taking Davis Riley to make the cut. Also another golf play.
I'm trying to figure out what league this is, and I just cannot find it.
Yes, I did ask him, but I did not see. So basically, whatever golf.
Could it be PGA? Because I'm trying to find the guy that's the Gotter up guy that's 100 to 1 or whatever he said, and I just cannot find him. Oh, Davis Riley. Okay, yeah, this is PGA.
Oh, it is a PGA Tour.
PGA Tour. Oh, that PGA Tour something. I just can't figure out what it is for. I think it's Rocket Mortgage Classic right now.
Okay, so yeah, that is what it is. We'll see. Oh, Rye Guy says Rocket Mortgage Classic.
There you go.
Right.
I was trying to find it for the while. I could not find the Gotter up guy, but I found the Riley Davis or Davis Riley.
Yeah, I don't know much about golf. That's why I was kind of like, and he had sent it to me recently here, so I wasn't quite sure. But going on to best bets, for me, I'm going right back to it here. Jays -1.5, which you can currently find for -114, actually. 1 unit today on that. Tim, you're going Mets money line with the over 7.5.
Yep.
For 1
if it
unit.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Bryant, same as me. Blue Jays -1.5, -114, 1 unit. Ryan is going Tampa Bay Rays money line -105 for 1 unit, and DJ is taking Homa to make the top 20 for +110.
Breaking news: the Detroit Tigers just walked it off on the San Diego Padres. 4-5. 4-3. So my over 7.5 missed, but at least I pushed on the 7 for my other stuff. But wow, who is that? Victor Reyes with the walk-off double.
Well, the Tigers can get their winning out of the way because they have 4 games coming up in the next 4 days after today. And I do not think they are going to have very much fun in those games. So enjoy your win today, Tigers. But that is the show. Best luck to everybody today. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube. We'd love to have you. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate all the support. Smash the like button if you enjoy the content. If you are into hockey and you want to come and join us for your favorite team, we're going to be going through all 32 teams leading up into the hockey season, and anybody is welcome as long as you're a fan or somewhat of a capper. Even if you're just mostly a fan, that's totally fine. We'd love to have you for your opinion, like Tim. I'm sure I can get Tim to come on the Buffalo show.
I'm going to be on the Minnesota one too, so that's fine.
Sorry, that's packed. That show is full. But you'll be able to come on the Buffalo Sabres show. But tune into these shows. They're going to be great. Lots of information for the upcoming season. And then the football shows and football preview show coming in 13 days as well. So best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. And we will see you again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode. Getting Well with Terry and Friends. Have a good one, guys.